Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to Getting Messy, where I'll be sharing a 12 by 12 layout using some mixed media products. I am doing this series in collaboration with Tisa, Amy, and Dollie, so be sure to check out their channels that I'll have linked in the description box below. I will also go ahead and list the items that I used on my layout today in the description box as well. So for this layout today, I will also be doing the whiteout challenge that was given to us by Amy over on the Facebook group for the Secret Not Secret Kid Club. And it's to do an all white layout. So here I pulled out a bunch of items from my stash that are all white. Here we have this textured paper. I got that, I believe, at Hobby Lobby. I also pulled out some vellum with some script on it. And for my base, I am using American Crafts cardstock. I do not gesso my background at all. And I will be using this stencil, which I absolutely love. You can see it's very loved by all the stains on there. And I will be using some texture paste. It's actually glitter texture paste, and this is from Stampin' Up. So here I'm going to begin working on my background, and I will just be adding texture paste to the right side of this layout. I am adding that texture paste using that silicone spatula from Nuvo, and I highly recommend this spatula. It's very, very easy to clean up afterwards. So basically I'm just pushing through the texture paste through the stencil, and I am also skimming off the excess off the top as well. Now that I'm complete with the top part, I will go ahead and dry it. So that way, once I begin working on the bottom part, the top part will not get smushed at all by the stencil. Now with this layout, seeing that there's no colors to work with, I wanted to focus more on texture and dimension. So I will go ahead and remove about 3/4 of an inch off two sides of this background, and I will mat this background on another piece of white cardstock. But before I mat it on that cardstock, I will go ahead and distress the edge. So here you can see, even though I matted white on white cardstock, it did make quite a bit of a difference to go ahead and distress the edges of that white cardstock. And here I'm just pulling up the edges just a bit more, just to add a little bit more dimension to it. So now to add some texture behind my photo, I did go ahead and mat it on that crimply paper that I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm sure there's another name for that paper. I just can't think of it right now. And here I'm adding it to this doily as well. And I am just adding the doily to the left side. I also added some foam adhesive behind my photo, so that way it lifts off the page just a tiny bit. I believe next I will go ahead and add some vellum. I do tear the edge at the bottom and distress it just a little bit before I go ahead and adhere it to my background. So now I begin embellishing, and here I grab this border sticker, and I am going to add one to the left side of this page as well as the bottom. And then I will grab all of these punches to punch out some shapes using some white cardstock. And I punched out some of the circles just to fill in the spaces I also punched out some flowers, some leaves, and some butterflies as well. So here I'll begin adhering all of my embellishment pieces to the layout, and I do that in a diagonal design. And I am adding my circles first, and I am using a glue pen. Next up, I will add my flowers. I do leave some of them flat on my background, and I do use some foam tape to lift some of them up off my background. Now, when I add my butterflies, I do add foam tape behind the larger butterflies, and I do lay the smaller butterflies flat on the background. And that way I have some more dimension going on, with some of them lifted up off the page and some of them will not be. Now I do add my leaves in by just adhering the bottom part of the leaves, and that way the top part will remain lifted off the page as well. Now you may notice once I add my bigger butterflies, I do flip the edges off, actually the wings off the page just a bit, and that just adds a bit more dimension. Like I mentioned before, with this white on white, to make this layout pop, I really wanted to add a lot of focus on textures and dimension on this page. So once I'm done adding all of these leaves, butterflies, and flowers, I will add a bit more sparkle, and I am going to be using some Nuvo drops. Now the Nuvo drop is in a frosted white color, and I will go ahead and link it down below. I add some of that Nuvo drop to the butterflies and to the flowers as well. And this way I have some glitter going on with my texture paste. I have some glitter going on with those stickers that I added before, the border stickers that I added. And now I'll have a little bit more sprinkled in there on my flowers, my butterflies, and I do add some drops here and there on my page as well. Now I will give you guys a close-up look at the end of this process, but it's very hard to see the glitter that comes off of this layout, and it is much more beautiful in person, I have to say. I really loved how this turned out. So if you enjoyed this process today, be sure to give me a thumbs up before you leave. If you are new to my channel, please take a look around. If you like what you see, consider subscribing, and don't forget, go over to all of the other ladies' channels and check out their mixed media layouts that they created for you guys today. So I want to thank you all for watching. I do have some still shots coming up, so be sure to stick around for that. And until my next video, bye.